Hey, Georgie.
Hello, Joshua.
What's the weather?
Would you like to hear a joke?
No. What's the weather?
What do you call a magic
No,
dog?
dude. All right, go on.
What do you call a magic dog?
What?
A labracadabradoodle. Ha 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 ha. Would you like to know the time?
Hey, mate, can you tell me the weather?
No. Would you like to hear a joke?
No, the
Would
weather.
you like to hear a joke?
No, just give me the weather.
What has 8 legs and wings?
No, tell me the weather.
Would you like to hear a joke?
Go on then.
A joke. Would you like to hear
yes,
a joke?
Yes, tell me the joke.
What is 7 inches long and 5 inches thick?
What?
My virtual. Ha ha ha.
We are on episode, I'm not sure, is it 13?
I believe it is 14 today.
Oh, okay.
Episode 14.
Episode 14. Last week we did the 4th of July party.
That's right. Special themed episode just
Yes.
for you American fans out there.
Yeah, so welcome back everyone, and I just wanted to say if you liked that episode, please let us know. We've been thinking about maybe doing some themed ones as well.
Oh yeah.
Getting more into it. It's
No
nice.
doubt.
It's nice having an hour to discuss and like an entire topic, like that.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed that. That was a extra special episode. But today we're going to go back to the regular format
Yes, indeed.
where we talk about a random mix, almost like a goodie bag of topics.
Yeah, people ask us like, what's the podcast about? It's a question I get all the time, and I'm like, man, how on earth am I meant to explain this to people?
I struggle with that too.
And all I say to them is like, look, me and Georgie have just been doing this for like 10 years where we sit down randomly. I'll be at home or something when we were living together.
Yeah.
And Georgie would come home and he'd bring up a topic or something that we've like read about or seen or something. And then 2 hours will just go by. And and basically the topics we discuss are, if we were to summarize, it would be, we focus on tech,
Yes,
science,
that's right.
space. We love pop culture.
Yes.
We love any sort of drama that occurs in the media.
Especially stuff to do with billionaires and presidents.
Exactly.
That's our favorite ones, I think.
Just basically outrageous shit or controversial things. People don't really talk about that often.
Yes.
And we're trying to find the answers ourselves. So it's not like we know specifically too much about it, but we're like, why not discuss the stuff that we don't know? Maybe we'll learn something. So
That's right. They have this other podcast that I forget who does it, but it's called The Brilliant Idiots, and they describe it as smart people talking about dumb stuff.
yeah.
Us is kind of the other way around.
Exactly the opposite. Yeah. Dumb people talk about smart stuff.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So we like to talk about like futurism. Somebody actually said this to me. They said, "Oh, your podcast is about futurism, right?" I was like, "Yeah."
A lot of it is, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But we also like to we do social commentary. We commentate on everything happening in the world and all the crazy shit that people do, and it's current events as well as futurism, I'd say, for sure.
Completely agree,
Yeah.
man. And actually, we love to point out like the funny stuff that happens that everyone takes seriously. And honestly, this is the perfect segue for my first one. that I
Let's
want
get
to
into
show
it,
you.
baby.
So you and I, before we did this podcast, we had, I think, one of our funniest conversations about presidential flex.
Yes. We actually made a YouTube video for this.
Yeah. And so whether that ever goes live or public or whatever, or has it?
Highly unlikely. No.
Highly unlikely?
No,
Okay.
we took that one down.
Yeah.
It was the first one we ever did. So.
Yeah, that was a good one. And so I've got a couple of things that are along those lines, but I don't know if you saw the video of Joe Biden falling off a bike. Did you see that one?
Yeah. I'm so ready for presidential flex part 2.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
Me
so
too.
ready.
So Joe Biden fell off of a bike, I think like a couple of weeks ago. He had just done something where he was doing like not a bike race, but like a bike marathon. And like as he rolled in on the bike.
I'm pretty sure it was a charity event or something.
Yeah, like that, a charity event. And he rolled in on the bike, and just when he stopped in front of the media, he kept his foot clipped into the bike clip, and then he just full tilt just fell.
Classic novice cyclist,
Exactly.
behavior.
And so, a lot like the Dana White thing, where, his PR people went out and said, hey, look, we got to do these fights. They're going to be more violent. I think Joe Biden's PR people must have said to him, you need to start looking a little bit less like a vulnerable old man who can't do anything physical. So
yeah, absolutely.
Here are some things that Joe Biden's been doing to try to make himself more lively.
Is this in response to this? There's also the speech that he did. Did you hear about the speech?
No,
he's Americans can be summed up, and okay, we'll get into it.
Okay, you tell me after this.
All right, let's see this.
Talk to both of you about this nonsense coming out of the US, coming out of the White House, this pretense that Joe Biden, not only is he going to, wobble his way till the end of this first term, but he's actually going to run again in 2 years' time. It's such a nonsense. And in case you didn't see this show last night, Michael, I'll show you a little bit of Joe Biden trying to prove how energetic he is.
Wow.
so they're starting the campaign early, huh?
Michael,
I suppose so.
He'll be lucky to finish his first term without handing over to Kamala Harris, let alone running again, surely.
Well, I don't think Joe Biden's literally running anywhere ever again. Even on a bike, it's a dangerous proposition, isn't it? Look, no, I think even if Joe Biden was to put his hand up, you would have to think, Chris, at this point in time, the Republicans, here we go up the stairs. Yeah, good. I think at this point in time, the Republicans would have to be assuming to beat him anyway. So, look, he can nominate. And if he does get the nomination, I think it speaks volumes about the lack of depth in the Democratic side. The Republicans, post the Trump era, have started to put forward a couple of candidates.
He started jogging to the podium now.
Ron DeSantis probably at the top of the pyramid there. So, look, if Biden gets the nomination, that's the democratic process in the Democratic Party, as democratic as it is. Just ask Bernie Sanders about that one. But I don't think he can win. And if he does, I'm not sure that's good for the West.
No, not at all.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. But, yeah. What do you think?
This is the first time, I think, almost in history, where there's been a president that you don't naturally have respect for. Like even with Trump, the amount of people that hated him, you could still respect a lot of what he's done, and
no doubt.
He's got the alpha male handshake. He comes in there, he can be a threatening guy
for sure.
This guy has got no threat in him whatsoever. It's the first time we all feel embarrassed for the most powerful man in the world, potentially.
It seems like every time he does something that people laugh at him about, they're like, oh, don't laugh at the old man, which is not how you want people to react to their president.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly my point. It's really ridiculous, and it's the first time that it's happened.
Yes.
People don't even know how to react. They're just like, Sleepy Joe, what are we gonna do? It is
not a great wartime president.
No, he's very non-threatening. It honestly seems to me right now that America doesn't have a president. I feel like since he's been elected, everyone's been like, look, president's not really doing a whole lot, so just elect whoever and then do what we want anyway, in the form of protest or state enforced laws.
Do people actually cheer at his speeches? Are they like, hell yeah, this guy's the man? Do they do that?
I don't know. Maybe we should try and find a speech, to be fair.
Okay, but before we do, I wanted to show you something along those same lines. So, maybe we should spend a little bit of time talking about Boris Johnson after this. The fact that he's just resigned as Prime Minister of the UK. Obviously, the reason is because some of his cabinet, I suppose you could say, or some of his party members got caught up in some sexual scandals. And
wasn't he also implicated himself?
I think so, yeah. Not directly, but indirectly somehow.
I read that it was basically work functions where he would behave inappropriately and get too drunk or something. His behavior was not very prime ministerial, if that's a word.
Yeah, it sounds definitely like a word. No, I mean,
it's not presidential, I don't.
With that said, what do you think about this? So, if some scandal comes out about you as a president, high profile, person, do you think that it's almost like an admission of guilt if you resign.
Yeah, so did you watch the video of him trying to basically explain his actions in the, I don't know what that room is called, that they're
The
all,
Parliament.
yeah, just Parliament, I
Parliament,
guess. Yeah. He's like, Mr. Speaker, and there's just a roaring, like 300 people like, oh, whatever, like,
Oh yeah,
calling him out, like, whatever,
Yeah.
more lies.
Yeah.
And he's just getting ripped, and he's like, Mr. Speaker, and he keeps trying to like say what he's trying to say, and everyone's like, shut up. Like,
Wow.
yeah, he's like getting ripped into, and he's not getting his point across. But he was trying to say all they want to do is they're just using this as an excuse to get rid of him. And a lot of people are like, no, it's time for you to go, obviously. Because they were saying, they're only doing this so that I'm not able to deliver my mandate. And that was...
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I think that is also, probably why they do. But you did also get drunk in front of your coworkers and,
Must be
gave them
tough.
some ammo.
Must be tough. Like, you can't give any of your competition or even the people who are like running with you a chance to rip you out on any personal
Can't
flaws.
be caught lacking, brother.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Obama never did no shit like falling off a bike. Do you know what he got caught doing? Sipping a mojito on a boat, shirtless, looking like ripped,
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's my president,
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
this is also what I mean with with Trump, people will take the piss out of him all day long and he'll be like, it's fine. Like, he's like, it doesn't,
Yeah.
he doesn't fake
Fake news.
Fake news. Yeah. With Joe Biden, it's just like we almost feel bad for taking the piss out of him. So that's really not a good place to be. But you definitely
that's
don't want.
worse.
That's worse.
That's
yeah.
worse. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think when you're not. Yeah, this is the photo I'm talking about with Obama.
Hell yeah.
This is what I'm
dude.
saying. And like, you got Putin. That dude's shirtless on horses, looking jacked.
He does great.
You can't give an opportunity. Oh yeah, this is perfect presidential flex.
Yeah, man.
Content here.
This
This
is
is
epic.
actually what we did it on. We did the whole YouTube video was basically just on Putin and all the crazy shit he gets up to.
He is the king of presidential flex, without a doubt.
Yeah.
There's a
He makes you respect his flex. But yeah, it's a tough one. You got to be threatening, but like Joe Biden's not going to have, I don't think, people trying to find anything bad about him to use against him.
That's right.
If Boris Johnson was more klutzy and like fucked up a little bit, and then
Yes.
like they'd get him on like being useless, not on like on doing something bad.
Here's the
so you're
thing.
better off being non-threatening, maybe.
With Joe Biden, you don't really need to look for anything.
That's what I'm saying. you don't need to try and come up with something like he's in a sex scandal. We're like, no,
Yeah.
we all know he's useless. Like we
Yeah.
can get him out. It's not
Yes.
getting the sex scandal in here is like no one's even going to believe it.
Of course, of course.
With Boris Johnson, you're like,
Yeah.
that dude was definitely hanging out with Epstein type thing. You can tell the vibes there. But
Sure, man.
yeah. So I
Boris
don't think
Johnson
you want your competition to know anything dodgy about you.
Boris Johnson seems like he would have been like a bit of a lad. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
getting drunk and stuff. UK, like
How many pubs has that kid been in?
Oh,
yeah. Like, yeah, for sure.
he could probably down a pint pretty quickly.
Let's. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Let's,
a young Boris maybe would have even gone on Love Island. We don't know.
Let's see. Yeah,
Could you imagine?
I reckon he would. He would
Yeah.
have if he didn't get the president, like the president, or the prime
become
minister.
prime minister. He would. Love Island.
Be
Maybe
on Love
was-
Island with the six pack out.
Yeah, dude. I've got a Love Island segue for us.
Okay,
but
let's just get through
finish
this
up. Let's-
Boris thing. I want to get your thoughts on this. Just pay very careful attention to this video.
Oh, dude, I've seen it. hello. Yes, not a drop of sweat. I'm extremely fit. I'm fit. I'm flirty. I'm 56. I'm the prime minister. And on the weekends, I like having too many beers with my coworkers and filling up my assistant.
I think my best attribute is my golden hair. It always looks messy. I never really have to do much to it. Love this guy, man.
This is so funny, dude. Gets out of the car and then just, hello.
Look at all the others in disguise, though.
Yeah.
Oh, they've all also got those Yeah.
I mean, do you know what's funny? That this guy's trainer has to get up every morning just to be near him and not train him. Like, he doesn't actually train him. He's just like pretending. Like the trainer is also pretending.
Damn.
He's like, yep, this morning did a couple of sets with Boris, getting him to shape, making sure he's good, as a prime minister. He's got to be healthy. And then he's just like opening the door for him. And he's like pretending to run. And he's like, yeah, one of the people I have coached, Boris Johnson. Like that's on his resume of him just lying about being his trainer.
This guy's just getting paid like $500K a year to shake protein shakes that Boris never drinks.
Exactly. Yeah. He's constantly making him look fit, but the dude's just out of shape. It's my age. It's not that I don't work out. It's my age. Okay. Damn. I love my beers too much.
Can't wait for the first president with a six-pack.
Well, I mean, Putin and Obama were pretty close, I'd say. They were probably the most fit. I imagine Ronald Reagan, he was obviously an actor before he became president. I reckon he was in great shape.
John F. Kennedy had like the face of a movie star.
That guy, yeah. Ronald Reagan was a movie star. JFK definitely could have been. Yeah. I mean, that guy's a good-looking guy. I mean, he bagged Marilyn Monroe, so... Which was apparently at the moment, at that point, the most attractive woman on earth, right? So
yeah. She was like the Kim K.
How sick would that be right now? If we had like a president that looked like JFK and was sick and everyone loved him. Yeah. And then he just started dating Kim K.
That's basically what happened,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. It would just be so insane to experience that, though. Like, oh man, the content would be fantastic. And all we're stuck with is fucking Pete Davidson. Fucking Big Dick Pete. Yeah, man. And he's not even giving us
is there something new on Pete? You got something on Pete?
No, okay, well, he did a special recently, and he just talked about how much his life sucks now. And I'm just like, this is the most unrelatable thing as a comedian you can do, is go and date one of the richest billionaire women on earth that everyone hates for being fake, and then you go out there and say your life is now way worse because of the negative internet attention you're getting, and because Kanye West is telling people you have AIDS. If Kanye West was tweeting about me, you think I'd be sad? While I'm banging his wife and potentially inheriting all her cash, like,
damn,
living in her house, like, what are you sad about? And then you go out there, like, as you guys know, life's been pretty shit lately. The guy from College Dropout said I have AIDS, and he's like talking with this tone. I'm just like, none of this is relatable or funny, and everyone hated it. Like
I'm sure they would have. I mean, as a comedian, you have to at least see the funny side. You would be like, yeah, okay, the guy from College Dropout says that I have AIDS, but at least now I've basically been put down in history as a guy with a massive cock.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, like he's got to use it to his advantage, but also make it relate. Why doesn't he make it relatable in the sense that? I'm just a random dude and I'm banging Kim K. Yeah. You can do it too. Why didn't he make it relatable for the people that would want to do that instead of just being like, he was saying like, yeah, I was at this basketball game with this person and this person, like with, I think he was like with Chris Rock and then just another legend. Yeah. And then he goes, yeah, my life's dope as fuck. And everyone's like, and he's like, yeah, so we're at this basketball game, and then like Kanye said I have AIDS, and everyone's like, dude, no one can fucking understand. You're the only one on earth going through this.
That's right.
And as a comedian, you're meant to try and have comedic relief for people to look at like the dark sides and like,
find something that we can all be like, yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why
a lot of comedians struggle with this, and Ricky Gervais mentioned it in his latest one. He's like, I wonder, people say, I'm too rich now to be relatable. And then he just made a joke and everyone is like in tears because he recognized it, knows what he needs to do. Yes. And he makes his richness relatable to them as like the reactionary to it instead of being like, I'm rich and unrelatable. He's like, I'm rich, you can't relate, but I'm going to relate to how rich versus poor. So you get it and you laugh at yourself, but I'm still good.
Yeah, because Pete isn't laughing at himself when he makes
he's not. He's not.
It's like humble bragging.
It's humble bragging.
It's like
his entire set was humble bragging, and victim, like playing victim, and we're meant to feel sorry for him, and that's just not where comedy's at.
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah. So what, didn't get good response?
No. Everyone was like, this is worst set, And this was, it's like, a lot of comedians are self-deprecating, and that's like, he's not being self-deprecating. He's making you try and feel bad for him, but he's self-deprecating to himself, but not in the skit. It's like, it's weird. I don't know. Didn't work, really.
All right.
I don't know where. I think he was just trying to explain to people what he's going through, which understandably could be very hard on your mental health. I understand that.
But usually you pay people to do that. You don't get paid to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know, you pay a therapist. You don't have people pay $100 to come and listen to you vent about how crap your life has been since you blew up from about a B grade comedian to like the most famous guy in the world.
Yeah, literally. Know? Yeah, he there's so much he could do with this.
Yeah,
he could go out there and just talk shit about it, give an insight to like being in the Kardashian. Maybe he's got like a grand master plan or something.
Yeah. But, wow. Maybe he's got a Donda of his own.
Yeah. 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 Maybe. Love Island.
Love Island.
So
the recoupling?
No, they went to Casa Amor.
Oh yes.
And one of the guys from Casa Amor is the son of Ronan Keating.
Wow.
Yeah, and he barely mentions it, and he gets no screen time and no bitches. What? And I thought it was like the most outrageous thing.
That's funny.
He's sitting there because like in Casa, so they've come back from Casa and they've picked now. Okay. So they know like this guy did not get picked.
Oh, he didn't?
Can you get up a picture of him, please? Just Ronan Keating's son.
All right.
So he goes, Ronan Keating was in Boyzone.
Right.
So there's like this one scene where this girl, Gemma, is just like, oh, like, is your dad famous? What does your dad do? Like, asking about his parents. And he's like, my dad's a singer.
Uh-huh.
And then Gemma's like, is he like a well-known singer? Like, are you going to tell me more? He's like,
yeah.
Oh, you know, like, he's like, yeah. And he goes, you know, like Boyzone. And she's like, oh, yeah, kinda.
It's before my time.
And then he's like, yeah, he was in Boyzone. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then they just change the subject. And I'm like,
yeah, missed opportunity, bro.
I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And then there's like a couple of scenes of him just like getting ready with the boys. And then that's the screen time over. And then there's just like a line at the end where he doesn't get picked. Look at him.
Oh, this dude. Yeah, I think I saw a picture of this guy. Yeah, he really should have played the My Dad's Famous card.
Just even to like the boys so that they could all hype him up and there'd be like all this attention around him. Like, play the game, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to go in there and you've got like a get out of jail free card, basically.
That's
like,
right.
One of these chicks will basically maybe even just get with you because of who your dad is.
For sure.
And you got probably about maximum, I'd say, 30-second screen time over the entire...
He's probably got like a sore spot about it, about the fact that like he just hates people asking about his dad.
100%.
And so he wants to try to avoid. It's kind of like, you know, when you it's like, you know, when you meet like some models or most models and they dress in like drabby clothing or like stuff that isn't like doesn't look good because they're models and they don't want to be seen that way, you know?
Yeah.
And so I
know what you mean. Yeah.
So they just dress
down so that people aren't like, like you only get things because you're like a hot model or something.
Yeah.
You know, to remove that.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. The preconceived idea, I guess. But, I mean, your dad's Ron Keating and you're just a dude on Love Island. I think you can get away with being like, yeah, like, you know, obviously my dad's like super famous, but I'm just out here trying to find love. And like, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, much better approach.
Literally say that line. Like, that's what I would say. Like, I'm like, look, my dad's famous, but that's got nothing to do with me, really. So,
or you could even play the victim card. You could say, hey, look, you know, out in my dating life, you know, a lot of people try to get really close to me because my dad's super famous and all of that sort of stuff. But like, I'm just here to be my own guy. And like, even though I have such a successful, like incredibly famous father, I was hoping to get to know somebody and somebody to get to know me.
Yeah, like properly, because all my dating experiences have been like that. Dude, going on Love Island's perfect for him as well, because there's no like people can look him up or Google him or any of that. Like he's got free reign to just do that. But I guess he did. Yeah. But he definitely should have mentioned his name. He definitely should have just dropped that name. Yes. Just to the boys, because the boys would freak out.
Oh, yeah.
And the boys would be like jumping around him and all the girls would be like, what's going on there? They're all jumping around him.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, come on. Sure. Create some hype around you. So basically he was on the show and then he was off the show and all I've read about what his dad's saying is that he was fucking nervous that his son was going on the show.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the only information I have have about it. But yeah, that's a little Love Island day for you. So they're back from
Great.
Casa.
Yes.
Things are heating up. A bunch of people recoupled, as you can expect. And, I feel so bad for the people coming back from, like, dude, if I got casted for Love Island and they said, we've got you on Casa, I'd be like, forget it.
Why?
Fuck Casa.
Why?
Coming in at Casa, you're like, you got to basically try and steal someone's girl, because
That's
by
right.
then, a lot of them are coupled up already.
Yes.
And then after you steal someone's girl, you have to now go and meet that guy and hang out with him and, like, fight against him for that girl who potentially still has a lot of feelings or even more feelings for him.
So you're saying you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, or you're, behind the starting line type of...
Behind the starting line massively by getting into Casa.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, mostly from Casa, there's one dude or one chick that stands out massively. And sometimes they don't even get picked or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you get back on the island and then the girl's like, actually, now seeing my old boyfriend, damn. And then you're just, like, single.
I would think that as a guy, right? A guy who's on Casa Amor, it would be much harder to try to get the girl to want to recouple than it would be as a girl on Casa trying to get the guy to recouple.
Oh,
that's what I
100%.
think.
100%.
Yeah.
The problem with the girls, though,
Yeah.
is that they usually have multiple guys interested in them. Like, so the girls will come onto the island and be like, wow, I mean, all these guys are, like, down. And then they don't end up investing in just the one.
Yeah.
So then none of the guys pick the girls.
Yeah.
So that's where the girls screw up. And on the guy's side, it's just like, I'm trying to be chill. I don't want you to cheat or anything, but definitely also pick me instead of your boyfriend.
Yeah.
So it's super difficult. Because
Yes.
every time the guys try and do some shit, the girl's like, no, we're, like, just getting to know each other. I'm like,
Yeah.
like, they feel like they're cheating.
Of course.
And the guys on the other island are, like, all just trying to cheat quickly. And then get rid of the new girls and go back to their girlfriend. Because the boys always see it as boys night, boys lads trip,
They're like a lads trip, yeah.
The girls do not see it that way.
And it's funny because, like, on the when you see the comparison between, like, what the girls' casa and the boys' casa looks like, it's the boys' casa is just this massive raving party,
Just
like,
like,
games, music playing, girls twerking.
just looking
and on the
nuts.
other end, it's like all of these conversations, like, so how's it going with you and your boyfriend? It's like, oh,
And Ron
snooze
Son's
fest.
just been there. And she's just like, I just want to be friends. And he's like, yeah, fair. I'm probably going home, so don't even worry about it. But
Yeah.
it's a tough one, man.
It's so funny. And then people say there's no difference between guys and girls. Come on.
Yeah. There is, I mean, just watch Love Island. I mean, on the basic level of low IQ people just trying to get together. It's, well, I wouldn't say low IQ. I'd say mid IQ maybe.
Yeah.
Low to mid.
But high looks rating.
High looks rating, very high. Yeah. Good for you.
Anyway, you see that tweet by Elon Musk? It's actually a little
Let's
bit
get
earlier
into
this
the
year.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been a big topic of a couple of conversations for us in the podcast in the past.
No doubt.
Whether it be new technology or something new coming out with his business, or if he's just getting up to fucks.
That's right.
The last time we talked about him was when he had that sexual assault claim that was on the plane. Do we
Yes.
have a follow up from that yet?
No. I don't have a follow up for you, but I just this is a tweet that he had, which I thought was really funny. Which he says he's changed his display picture to a bunch of bored apes, and he says, I don't know, seems kind of fungible. Which I think is hilarious. And
Dude, he's the king of just like causing so much ruckus by whether or not he means or not means something. When he posts something on Twitter,
Yes.
people will just deep dive and just... Yeah, sorry. Continue.
So, I saw actually Gary V respond to this in a YouTube video, and Gary V, and somebody said to Gary V, "Oh, well, what do you think about Elon Musk's his tweet? Because Elon seems to think that they are quite fungible." And then because Gary V is such a big NFT sort of backer himself, he said, "Oh well, I could take a picture of a Lamborghini and say that I own the Lamborghini, but it doesn't mean I own it. I could take a picture of the Empire State Building and say that I own it, but it doesn't mean I do, right?" But I think that there's a flaw to that logic. You want me to tell you why?
No, I 100% agree with you.
Like with a Lamborghini, if you own a Lamborghini, you get to drive a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
You don't just. The only purpose of it isn't just to show pictures of it to people. With an NFT, that's really its only purpose.
No, it's got utility. That's the part that people sell.
Okay.
So when you're buying a Bored Ape,
Yes.
the whole sale,
Yes.
when you're buying a Nelk NFT or any of these companies making an NFT, it's because you get exclusive access to parties that only people can go to when you've got this.
Right.
You've got, downloadable packs, or you've got this or that, whatever. It comes with stuff.
Okay.
Every NFT, they've got the roadmap of like the things that they want to achieve and what's going to be accomplished and like what it means to have that NFT.
Right.
Now, Rhythm and Vines are bringing out an NFT, right?
Okay.
So they've got, I think, let's say they have 50 NFTs coming out. One of them is a lifetime pass.
Wow.
So everyone pays $2,000 for a chance to get the lifetime pass. But one of those 50 NFTs is 2-year pass, 3-year pass, 5-year pass.
I see.
Or free VIP or whatever.
It's kind of like a really expensive raffle.
Really expensive raffle. That's exactly what it is. And then, obviously the lifetime pass is not worth the $2,000, but the cheapest thing they have may be worth the $2,000. Do you know what I mean? So, or it might be less.
Yes.
So when you're buying a lifetime pass, obviously that thing is always going to be worth something.
Right.
And it will go up based off their demand as well and value. So that's the utility. So if you buy a Lamborghini, you get to drive a Lamborghini. If you buy a Bored Ape, you get to go Bored Ape parties.
Okay.
That's the utility behind the NFTs that they try to sell. But most of the time, it's not fucking worth it. Like all the people at a Bored Ape party are a bunch of nerdy dudes.
Yeah, they're a bunch of bored apes, literally. Why would you want to go to a bored ape party?
Exactly. So I'm just saying that's the argument. It's always like, but have you seen the utility? Like they're gonna do this. It's always they're gonna do this. So that's always why people try to hype up a certain NFT.
Right.
Like you can buy an NFT, they're gonna let us go to space. Like
Yes. Have they come right on any of these promises on anything?
So Nelk's done private events for all their holders. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. And the events they put on look really cool. And they would have Snoop Dogg come out and a bunch of people come out and people get to see cool DJs and it's exclusive. And basically what they did, I think they did it somewhere either in Newport Beach or in California, somewhere at a beach.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a block party.
Yes.
So everyone can see, but you can't get in unless you have the NFT. So you can't even buy a ticket. So a bunch of people are just watching you in a secluded VIP area, and you're a Nelk holder, and that gives you exclusivity and importance and whatever. And you get to hang out, and you get to do meet and greets and hang out with the boys. So if you're a big Nelk Boys fan, that makes so much sense to buy that NFT.
Right.
Because you get to like potentially meet them and hang out with them and go to their events and like be part of the boys. So it's a great concept for that, I think.
I'm just trying to think, like, if you're creating an NFT and you're saying, okay, so we're going to sell 50 of these for $2,000 each, right? You say you make $100,000, and now, for the rest of your life, you got to be throwing monthly parties for these mofos.
See, the thing is, though, that they give away 10,000
okay.
at $2,000 each.
Were you going to have a 10,000 person party?
That's how many that's how many passes. Almost every NFT project is between 5,000 to 10,000 items.
Okay. Right.
So it is a really big one-off check.
Yeah.
But there's actually something I wanted to talk about. There's a American. Sorry, I'm sidetracking here. If you want to get back to the Fungible tweet.
No, that was that was it.
Okay, cool. So there was this thing back a while back. I think it was in the 70s or something, or 80s. American Airlines released a lifetime pass.
Sweet.
$250K.
That's the price. That's the cost of it.
Yeah. So there was this guy who bought the American. Do you mind just searching that up for us as well? I just want to make sure I've got all the information correct. So he bought. He was a rich dude, obviously. You know, multi-millionaire dude. Makes sense for him to do that. You know, to spend $250.
Yeah.
once off, and then you can also spend $150 and get a partner. So he got his daughter one.
Oh, cool.
Because she's young, so she can now travel with him, and when he passes, she'll be able to travel.
Yeah.
For the rest of her life.
Yeah. The ROI is good on a young person.
Huge ROI.
Yeah.
Huge ROI. So basically what they did, this guy bought the tickets and he's like, well, I bought it.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it. And this guy flew fucking everywhere. Just went hard. Spent his $250 quick.
Yeah.
Like got his money's worth, ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just fly first class fucking anywhere?
Yeah.
You just fly first class wherever you wanted, whenever you wanted.
I'd fly so much, man.
Yeah. Like if you're already a multimillionaire, have a couple of businesses, you don't necessarily need to be in an office.
Yeah.
You'd just be flying everywhere. You'd fly from one place to the next to the next.
Of course.
Just work from your laptop.
You've essentially got a free private jet.
That's essentially the situation.
Yeah.
Now, that's really expensive to have.
Yeah.
A free, a private jet. You're paying for your fuel.
No doubt. That $250 would run out pretty quick on a private jet.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like 5 flights max.
Yeah.
Now, consider that from first class, the food he eats, everywhere he's traveling, all the costs covered. So basically, after a couple of years,
Yes.
they just cancelled it. And
What?
they just broke contract.
Get out.
They broke the contract. They were just like, nah, no more for you, dog.
What?
No more for you.
Bro, that's a lawsuit.
So he goes into a lawsuit.
Okay.
He goes into a lawsuit. This is actually there's no happy ending here, to be honest. Okay. Why it's not surprising that the AA took this man's lifetime AA air pass away. So basically, whoever came up with this idea is definitely fired.
Yeah.
Because he reached his ROI and then they just started paying for him to like do this shit for years.
Well, that's the whole thing.
He was like listed on their American Airways as like, keep an eye on this passenger. Like they were recording and making sure like they knew how much this guy was fucking flying. Because he was flying everywhere. Do we have some? Yeah. So a successful stockbroker purchased their air pass for a fee of $250,000, a companion pass for an additional $150,000 after 21 years of traveling the world and racking up the miles because travel on an AA air pass
accrued miles, as well as Roberstein was stripped of the pass in 2008 for speculative bookings. According to the latest recirculation of the tale in The Guardian, he then sued the airline a year later for $7 million in damages.
No, that's the funny part, right?
Wow.
So the pass is actually worth $7 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, to him, it's actually worth more.
But the thing is, he had to go and figure out how much he's been flying over 21 years versus how much he would still have the pass for and the companion pass or whatever.
Yeah.
What does the price on that look like? What's possible to achieve? You know what I mean? So it's not $250, it's $7 million, and that's probably underselling it of what the pass should have cost him.
All right. After years of back and forth, a judge finally ruled in favor of the airline.
Yeah.
No way. But that obviously hasn't stopped the story from making headlines, which is why we... Okay.
Yeah, forget about that.
Anyway. That is crazy.
Yeah, so they won. But I guess this guy, it's hard to feel bad for him. Apparently he was really depressed after this lifetime pass. But think about it. He's suing for $7 million. He paid $250, and he probably spent millions.
Yeah.
Like, I think you got your worth, but also the airlines,
Still though, man, you can't make a promise like that.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I think this is just a good example of what's going to happen with so many of these NFTs.
Ah, yes, I see.
Like you said, how many parties are now going to throw for these fucking 10,000 holders?
Yeah.
And these guys are these are diehard Nelk fans.
For sure.
Do you know what they like? Destruction.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're about.
Yes. I almost feel like if you've got an NFT project and you've, let's say, sold all 10,000 of these NFTs and you've promised all these people lifetime membership to all of these parties, if you sell that business on, you're not even selling an asset. You're selling a liability at this point. You're selling
a liability, yeah.
Because it's like the money's already been made. How do you make any more money on this? You don't. It's the holders that might be able to sell them on for more. You've made all the money up front. Now you've just got a liability.
It's like if Netflix came out and been like one-off, $3,000, and then like after a couple of years they just stop making the money stops.
Yeah.
Now also picture this, right? Maybe this is what they put into it. We're selling it to kids. Those kids have got to grow up. They're eventually going to stop coming to the parties. The meta card eventually will just phase out, right? Unless they just start, they just have to keep their promise and keep their own parties for 40-year-old dudes when they're like in their 60s or whatever, or their 50s, just like, fuck, we've got that obligation, bro. We still have to throw parties for this dudes because this is what we said we were going to do if they pay this stupid fee.
Yes. Yeah,
lifetime subscription. We have to keep giving them Netflix.
And let's say you get married, you get too old or whatever. You're not interested in the parties anymore. You just sell it. Some other idiot buys it for $1 million, and they're expecting their own lifetime's worth of parties. You keep selling the NFT on. These guys have to throw parties literally forever.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they expire.
NFTs can't fucking expire. They just go up in value, and it's the royalties that the original owner makes money off. So every time this card is sold on, like you said, like for $1 million, if he bought it for $2K and then he sold it for $50K, they get royalties, a percentage on the $50K sale.
Yeah.
So every time it's sold for more, they have more, they get more percentage of it.
I see.
But the problem will be that these guys are already too old to be doing what they're doing. We know because we're roughly their age.
Yes.
We know exactly what these guys have got left in the tank.
Yeah.
Carl from Nelka's 29 or 30.
Okay, yeah.
And this guy is still sending like a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
He's got 2 years absolute maximum, I reckon.
For sure.
Before he'll need blood infusions from children just to get by.
He already looks, no offense to Carl, we love you, but he already looks older than he is. Because of all the sending he's been doing.
I know what that look of his face is. I know what it looks like to come off a bender. You can just see this, and you look older, dude. For a short period of time, you look older. If you stop drinking alcohol for a long time as well, you start looking younger.
You come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not destroying so many of the cells that are constantly trying to reproduce. But anyway, he can't be doing that shit forever, And if you sell the company, like you said, it comes with the liability of people that can just continue to do that. And if they don't sell it for enough money, then the royalties you're getting, or if none of these guys sell them at all and just
hold on to them,
pass them down to their son, that's the worst thing that can happen. If every single one of those guys just have like a ceremony where they're just like, pass it on to your son.
Yeah.
He just gets it for free, no sold royalties, and there's just a whole nother 30, 40 years of generation of just fucking partying and milk parties.
And I bet you, from knowing those guys, they probably promised them like something from every merch drop.
Yeah.
Does that mean they have to do a merch drop like for eternity now?
Yeah.
Every month for eternity?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're going to have to do that. If it's something like the UFC, and you get a UFC pass, that makes sense because you can keep selling the UFC pass. Dana White it's a company.
Yes.
And you can sell off the UFC. It has its own way of making a shit ton of money as well.
No doubt.
Whereas I feel like this meta card thing is way more difficult to do because the content that they're selling isn't competitive sports.
No, it's
the
not.
The content they're selling has a limited source. Like they can only produce this until they can no longer. Let's say they die.
Yes.
When Dana White dies, there's still going to be people fighting.
Oh yeah.
When they die, there's no more people making the prank videos unless they just keep the channel to keep getting younger prank guys in. But eventually, it's not the same thing anymore.
That's right. I mean, like, look at Jackass now.
Yeah, exactly. That was hard to watch.
Yes.
Some of the new guys, like, they're funny, but it's not Jackass.
It's not.
I don't know how to research this, but the boat, this is an analogy, there's a theory of a boat that they would have to replace each wood because the wood would rot, each plank of wood.
Okay.
Now, at what point, if you've replaced every plank of wood, is it still the original boat?
Well, I suppose it's not.
Yeah.
I suppose it's not.
Can you get up the video of the same axe for me? The same axe. The same axe.
The same.
This is a skit by a New Zealand comedian, actually.
Okay, I'd like to see this.
And it sums up the theory that I'm trying to explain pretty quickly.
Interesting question to to that theory of if you replace everything on a ship, is it still the same ship?
Yeah.
You know that every cell in your body is also replaced at least every 8 months.
Yeah, that's also the discussion, I think, with that theory.
Yes.
Is that
essentially every year you are an entirely different organism.
That's right. Yeah. So at what point? Well, we retain information,
Yes.
so it's different. Because as a human, you retain information, so a part of the old you is still.
Yeah, but how real is that information? I mean, it's just a memory.
That's right.
It's if you went back to those same places, the same people are no longer there.
But isn't a memory still enough? Like the boat doesn't have. Like if the boat had all the planks replaced, but still had the same picture that was part of the boat in the boat, then at least that picture is from the original boat.
Yeah.
But if every wooden plank is replaced, which is the physical part of the boat,
Yes.
at some point it will no longer be.
The same boat. And at what point? Great question.
It's from Moon TV.
All right. Yeah. I think I remember Moon
This
TV.
is the same axe.
Yeah.
See this axe? Had this since 1954. I've split pine cones with it and all sorts of things over on the Westland. And it's only had five new heads to it and about 6 handles.
Yeah. So it's not really the same axe then, is it? It's had different. It's not the same axe.
It's the same axe.
Yeah, I suppose it's the same axe.
Said 5 new
funny.
blades and only about 6 new handles. So it's multiple different axes actually.
But then at the end, he realized he's trying to argue with a guy with an axe.
Yeah, he was I've split pine cones with it
Yeah.
and other things. What a stupid way to answer that. Just by the way, from this guy, just being like, "I've split pine cones." This guy's the story's obviously about the same axe, and all he's got to say is pine cones and really dodgily other things.
Yes. Other
Cuts
things.
pine cones too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
the pine
Why
cone.
would you split a pine cone?
I don't fucking know. Anyway,
Anyway.
so that's the theory, really.
Yeah, well, tell us what you think. Put it in the comments. At what point? Is it after 51%, it's a new ship? Is it once the last plank is replaced? Or is it once you replace the first nail that it becomes a different ship?
That's true.
We don't know.
Those are the 3 options.
Leave it in the comments below.
We just went deep on the segue off Elon, but I'm gonna bring it on back.
All right. I'm ready.
Oh boy, bro.
Yes.
He is a city boy. Do you know the term city boy?
I do know the term city boy.
Are you a fan of Andrew Tate?
I know Andrew Tate. I don't know whether... I haven't decided whether I'm a fan, but I am an observer of Andrew Tate.
I am an observer of Andrew
Yeah,
Tate.
I'm
because-
monitoring him.
Do you know what? I was looking at a video today. I did want to talk about this, but I haven't done enough research on it.
Okay.
The story of Andrew Tate. You know, there's a video on YouTube talking about him and his fame and why it works or what, like why he's blown up. Because there's not a single day that I can go on TikTok without having this man scream at me, and it's not his page.
Yeah.
It's like Andrew Tate Alpha page.
Yeah. Top 1%. Masculinity evolved.
Yeah, University of Hustlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking something like that. Anyway, and like, I like the boys' club. I like parts of it, and then there's obviously parts that you cannot like. Him and his brother are also these people, you know, that talk so much about getting girls that you start to wonder if they actually do.
Yeah, right.
Get girls.
Right. Yeah,
So-
I have a feeling they probably do.
Anyway.
I've seen him in an interview before, and the way he kind of interacts with the girls, I think it becomes clear that he does know what he's talking about.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty aware of some of the basic tactics it takes to have a conversation.
Yes,
with a
he's
girl.
also 6'4", like kickboxer. So I wouldn't think that even if he had no game, he would have any trouble getting girls in the first place.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I see.
That's it's kind of like the now gets laid because of their fame, and then talk about like they know how to get girls.
Yes.
But if you took it all away, they'd just go back to not getting any girls. So it's like, why are you talking about it? Like we know why you get
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know.
You could
so-
you could be the exact loser that you spend so much time talking about in all your videos, and you'd still have massive success.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Which they are. And my
Oh, you think that they're not legit, those two guys?
Who?
Him and his brother?
Sorry, I was talking about the Nelk boys here.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
I'm yet to do more research. We'll get back to Andrew Tate. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna deep dive on this one. I'm interested to talk about. But my point is, Elon Musk is a city boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So something recent's happened. Have you not seen any of this?
No.
Fuck, bro. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, get this up. Get this headline out so my boy can read that. Yeah, that one there. I think so. Fucking, we'll just start with one of them and go through them. Oh, damn. This is a different one. Okay, so he's terminating the acquisition of the company, of the...
Oh,
Yeah, he's terminating its acquisition. No, but I wanted to talk about this anyway.
Yeah.
So he said that he's not going to do this, and this is around the exact same time that this other thing has also come out. So I do think it's slightly strategic, but you'll understand why this makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so it's good that we saw this one first. Okay, now go to the next one. Yeah, Elon's been busy.
Okay.
And he's on his city boy shit, and let's get this up. I want your... I'm just happy for you to see this. Can you read that out for us?
Court documents show that Elon Musk and a 36-year-old Neuralink executive, Siobhan Zillis, are the parents of 8-month-old twins.
Yeah, bro. He's
way.
had 2 more babies.
Dude.
He fucked one of the executives at Neuralink.
Wow.
That chick. And he now has twins. And this is, I think, there's a small period. Basically, he had one lady that was pregnant with twins while he had Grimes pregnant with his baby. So he had 2 women pregnant at the same time, one with fucking 2 of them.
Oh my god.
So he brought 3 lives into this life at the same time from 2 different women. All right, let's get into the fucking memes. Let's go. Just show the other one there from that article.
I did not know this.
There was 2 slides. Yeah, so this just came out, and I was like, he must have seen this.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just had this sex scandal. He's pulled out of Twitter, and now this. So he made it. So he posted himself to Twitter. I'm almost 100% sure that it's not fake, but. Doing my best to help the underpopulation crisis. A collapsing birth rate is the biggest danger civilizations face.
Oh, love this, bro. Wow. Okay. He's right with that.
Yeah. So
LMFAO, just say your pull-out game is weak, Elon. Well.
And then the next thing they go is... sorry, I've sent a ton of tabs to him, so...
Yeah, it's all good. You know, I don't hate this because I can see it from Elon Musk's perspective.
I don't hate it at all. I just think he's nuts. Love it. Yeah, get those bunch of slides up for us.
And he's a pretty kind of... Okay.
Looks like the Twitter deal is the only thing Elon Musk can pull out of.
Oh, man. Elon Musk says his advertisers sent a letter to Twitter formally notifying the company that he is terminating the merger agreement.
So they're intertwined here, and that's basically the only connection that they have is that he's pulled out of Twitter, but not out of this chick from Neuralink.
Wow. Tesla will be enduring a series of layoffs as we work towards having company fully staffed by my offspring in 2048.
Dude, he's on a total of, I think, 13 children now.
He's doing
12,
well.
It's 12 or 13, I think.
He's doing well. He's kind of doing like what...
Young Thug does?
Yeah, what Young Thug does. and I
boy.
guess like what the Bible says we should do.
Yeah.
Look at this.
So this is by Beeple Crap. Do you know who Beeple is?
No.
He sells NFTs, but he's an incredible artist, and he's made a shit ton of money off his NFTs.
That looks like a Tekken character.
Yeah, it's just Elon fighting Twitter. Yeah. But it's an eagle.
Epic.
I just thought you'd like that art.
I quite like this NFT. If I was to get any NFT, it'd be this one.
Yeah, he does crazy stuff. Let's actually go on Beeple. Just click on his page. There's a couple of ones of Trump, I think, that you'll absolutely love.
Oh, yeah?
He's made an image every day for the last 10,000 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So one of them is 10,000
like
pictures,
that.
I think, sold for millions. Yeah, so...
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's got some real good stuff. There's Joe Biden there floating as an air balloon. Let's go back one picture as well.
I kind of like this art style, you know?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's a very dystopian, futuristic look at today's culture, you know?
Yeah, super trippy, almost like AI style art.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's very cool. You should definitely check him out.
So are you selling each of these pictures as NFTs? No.
He did one as an NFT, which was the what is it, 10,000 pictures, I think. Do you want to just find out how much that sold for? Because it's a ridiculous number. Yeah, so Elon just never not providing us with content, I guess. But I love the way that he approached it. Like, there's no reason for him to get shit about it other than the fact that he cheated on his wife.
Well, we don't know what their agreement was, right?
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know.
Like, I haven't heard, like, Grimes, this is the thing here, 69 million.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
it's just
cool.
a collection of so many of his pictures.
And if you, like, zoom out a little bit, does it look like... does it look like
anything?
something?
Nah.
Not really. Okay.
He could have.
It's a
I think they would.
missed
I think
opportunity
they would. Yeah, missed opportunity. But maybe does it take away from what it is?
No, it doesn't.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, it doesn't take away from what it is. I mean, it's still really cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, if it was to show something,
Yes.
would that take away from the point that he's trying to make here?
No, I think it would add to
Like
it.
10,000 pictures. Like that's what it is. You
Yeah.
know? That he drew everyone individually. Like you're meant to zoom in there and find. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. You could still zoom in and see each of them, you know?
Would have added value.
Yeah.
What would you make it be though? Your face?
Just something funny
Because if it was
and simple.
yeah, just like a Shiba dog or something.
Like a Shiba dog, like shitting out an NFT.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What do we know?
What do we know? We're not artists, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. No, that's really cool, man. That's really
Yeah.
cool. So what? Okay, so let's just talk real quickly about the ethics of this whole Elon Musk situation. So he's had children with what? Something like 4 women, something
Four,
like that.
5, I think even.
Yeah, and he's got more than 10 kids, I believe.
Yeah, and he's 3 marriages.
Yeah. Okay, and so he's kind of just going around and impregnating famous or beautiful or smart women.
Yeah. He's had I think he has an interesting taste,
No doubt. No doubt.
but he's probably had them all. You know, he did sleep with Amber Turd and Cara Delevingne. After that, I feel like everything else is kind of irrelevant
Yeah.
in terms of taste.
I guess from his point of view, he's kind of thinking like, you know, I obviously got good genetics out here. You know, I'm killing it in the business game and in general. So let's see what all of my kids could do. Or
He's
let's just give
reached-
them the best chance.
He's reached the point where there is literally nothing left for him to do other than create spawn and go to space.
Yeah.
Everything else he's basically done.
Yeah, he's cracked it.
He can do anything anyone wants to do.
Yes.
And the things he wants to do is have more kids
Yeah.
and go to space. So the point is, when you get to that point where you have so much money and you've accomplished everything in life, what else do you have to do other than create life? You know? So
I'm sure he's still got lots of things he wants to do, but I guess he's just
but I mean, he's on the save life and create life.
yeah.
I mean, that's his. He wakes up in the morning. Let's fucking make some babies and get them to space. You know, that's well, if we're thinking about his thought process. You know what I mean? To be able to do this shit, or is it just an accident? Like this guy just hate condoms?
No, so he talks a lot about first principles thinking,
Right.
and he talks about like every action that you take and stuff is comes from first principles thinking, which is like you think about you zoom out on everything, you zoom out. So I actually believe that population crisis theme, the tweet where he's saying like doing my best to like solve the underpopulation crisis. So I honestly think that if one of his biggest concerns is that there isn't enough people in the West having babies, that he's like, okay, well, I'll do it myself.
I definitely think he's taking the piss there, though. 100%. Do you really think that we have an underpopulation problem?
Yeah, man, we do.
Why?
Because
I know that the trend has died, but
we're not people in the West are not having enough babies to replace.
Per couple, we are still having enough babies.
No, our populations are declining in the West. They're falling because we're not having enough babies.
In the West.
In the West, meaning the Western democratic civilized nations.
But our population goes up every day.
That's because you have like people in like the Congo and in the Middle East and stuff like that who have like 6, 8, 10 children.
Yeah, but in terms of humans on this planet that this planet can sustain, do you think there's a population problem?
No.
You think we have enough resources?
I think that there is no such thing as too many people, and I think that our best chance of solving any like resource issues is more people.
But it's like you have a winning horse.
Uh-huh.
But first you have to fucking feed and train that horse.
That's right.
Now, once you do that,
Uh-huh.
and the horse finally can compete, you've already invested a shit ton of money into that horse.
That's right.
Now, you don't have any more money to invest in this horse. It's now got to go out and make you the money.
Okay.
And then it either doesn't reach the potential, so it's a failed experiment, or it breaks its leg early,
Yes.
and then you don't get any money from it.
Okay.
So our best chance of figuring it out is that someone is born that will figure it out. But what if they don't?
Well, it's just about your rate of efficiency in terms of using resources. So if we were using resources a little bit less efficiently, then maybe 1 billion people would be too many. But if we were using them 10 times more efficiently, then 10 billion would be about the limit. If we were using them 10 times more efficiently, it'd be 100 billion that would be too many.
But we're super inefficient now.
That's right.
So,
But we're
in the
becoming more and more
in-
efficient.
In the current environment, do you not think that there's too many people?
In the current environment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you that there shouldn't be a population problem,
Yeah.
but I do think it exists.
I don't know, man. When you fly over like so many, and I've used this point before, like when you're on a plane and you fly over like stuff, you basically see that all of the people are all in these tight spaces. Like we've got heaps of land.
Yeah, but that's just how people work, right? So all that will happen is that'll just get bigger and bigger.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It will never not be condensed.
Well, unless we literally run out of real estate.
That's what I'm saying.
But at that point, we just start building up.
yeah.
So I don't think there's a population.
I'm
problem.
more worried about the resources and how inefficiently we use them, and then the cost of what we use of limited resources to achieve that. So
Right. So you're
like if we
worried
never
about
switch to electric cars, which electric cars isn't even really a solution because they use fucking wood to do that shit anyway. So it's like you're using a limited resource to create electricity, no? So
I think that they are. Yeah, some compound to make the batteries is limited. Yes.
that's the point. Well, most of these companies that create solar are run on gas.
Oh.
So
Oh, no.
Yeah. You should watch the documentary, dog. It's real
Okay.
fun. If you're worried about sustainable energy, you should be.
I think
All the sustainable energy options are created by unsustainable.
I just see it.
Energy.
I could not live in a world where we decide that, okay, we shouldn't have any more children because there's just no way that we can use the resources more efficiently. So we need to have a cap of how many humans there is. That sort of future looks completely bleak to me. I think that there's novel ways that we can continue to come up with to create food, to create energy that is just not, that is going to be renewable to the point where we can have as many people as we want.
Yeah, I mean it's an optimistic view, isn't it? Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like real today. That's like what we're able to solve, though.
Well, it depends. Like, at what point
We can't solve it yet because there's people that die all the time from starving.
But that's always been the case, even when we had 1 billion people on the planet. There's
but
always been people
one
dying.
fucking
of
American
starving.
consumes enough for 8 people
Yeah.
in Africa.
It's like if you look at the way if you look at the way people are living in the civilized countries.
This is my point, though.
Yeah.
It's not an efficient practice currently.
That's right.
And I don't see humans. I mean, maybe I should be more optimistic about humans maybe changing their ways. but ultimately, I'm not that convinced.
No, I don't think they're going to change their ways. I think people are progressively getting dumber and
worse.
And worse.
Do you feel like people are more aggressive? Was there a
Nowadays?
sweet period between like medieval times and like the 80s and 70s, which is great? Everyone's doing acid, smoking weed.
Yeah.
And then the internet came around and we just went straight back to fucking...
I reckon between like the 60s
crucify each
and
other.
the 2000s was probably the best time to be alive, I would say.
Yeah, I think it was meant to end at Y2K. I think that was the peak of civilization.
Yeah.
Where the computers should have turned off. No internet.
Yeah.
Just everything's done.
Yes.
Back to the days of campfires and hunting.
Do you ever think about like, should we like, because I was watching this thing the other day on Netflix, which was like the future of gaming, and it talked about how, you know, once we're all wearing the headsets and stuff, that the whole world will be a you know, interactive, almost like game type of thing where you can see advertisements next to the Empire State Building, blah blah blah, all this other stuff, and it would just merge the world of like internet with the real world too much. Do you ever think like, I don't really want to take part in that, you know? Do you ever think that way?
Between like immersing yourself in the VR world and living in that world?
Yeah, in the augmented reality world. Even though everyone's doing it.
It depends what it is. I don't think we're able to really have an understanding of it yet. I think we'd have to experience something like Neuralink to know whether or not it is better or not. You know?
But I mean, like, look at how lives have changed since like social media and stuff like that. And look at how much time we're spending scrolling TikTok and how like we're comparing ourselves to people on Instagram.
But how much has medicine evolved? How much has more efficient ways to travel, eat, whatever evolved
those
because
things
of
are
technology?
fine. Those things are fine, but it's like all of the things that are bad that's making people like either too far left or too far right, you know, like constantly arguing with each other. Like, can't we just can some of those things?
It's up to the individual, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but
everyone has their right. You want to take people's right away to...
No, I don't. It's just, I mean, like, people are just so easily addicted to stuff. And
again, that's just on them. They have the opportunity to be addicted or not be addicted and make the decisions to get help or not get help. Those things are there. And, you know, if you are warned about something like gaming is addictive and you're like, I'm going to risk it, then you fucking must, you know... If you're going to have a Twitter account and go out there looking for shit that either aggravates you or makes you feel like someone agrees with you, then you're just, you know, you're doing that selfishly. So,
you know, it's like...
But you have the right to do that.
I have a YouTube account where I only follow...
Sorry, we've got to wrap up, bro. We're over an hour and 10 in on this episode.
Oh, wow.
So I'm keen to get back into this VR conversation. We'll maybe pick up on it next week. But guys, please subscribe, like,
share, comment, hit the notification bell,
interact with us, because we love you.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Peace.
We're out.